Today, when the temperature outside becomes unbearable, we don't have to fight the heat ourselves. We turn on the air conditioner. We sit in a cool room. We open a refrigerator and grab cold water. We take a cold shower. We even check the weather before deciding whether it is safe to go outside. For us, extreme heat is something we can escape. But imagine taking all of that away. No air conditioning, no electric fans, no refrigerator, no cold drinks, no modern buildings designed to keep you cool. And now imagine living in a world where temperatures could become brutally hot, while your survival depended on walking, finding food, and finding water. That was the world our ancestors lived in. So how did they do it? How could a human body survive extreme heat without the technology we depend on today? Did ancient humans simply hide from the sun? Did they travel only during cooler hours? How did they find enough water? And why did humans evolve one of the strangest cooling systems in the animal world? Because the surprising answer is this: our ancestors did not simply learn to survive the heat. Their bodies changed to deal with it. And the evidence for that story is still written across your body today. Title: How did ancient humans survive extreme heat? Compared with many mammals, humans are unusual. We have relatively little visible body hair. We have millions of sweat glands spread across our skin, and when we become hot, our bodies can produce large amounts of watery sweat. But sweat itself does not magically cool you. The key is evaporation. When sweat evaporates from your skin, it carries heat away from your body. This is one of the most important ways humans cool themselves. It is also one reason humans can remain active in hot environments for surprisingly long periods. But there is a price. Sweat is water. The more you rely on sweating, the more important water becomes. So the human cooling system created a trade-off. It helped us lose heat. But it also made dehydration a serious danger. That trade-off may have shaped human evolution in profound ways. Nobody knows the exact moment when our ancestors became relatively hairless. Hair and skin rarely survive in the fossil record. But researchers have proposed that reduced body hair and increased sweating were important adaptations for dealing with heat. Less body hair allows more of the skin to be exposed. And when sweat reaches that exposed skin, evaporation can become more effective. Imagine a furry mammal under a hot sun. Its fur can trap a layer of warm air close to the body. Humans are different. Much more of our skin is available for evaporative cooling. This may have been especially useful for ancestors who were active for long periods in hot, open environments. But then an interesting question appears. If losing hair helped cool us, why did humans keep hair on their heads? Your scalp is exposed directly to the sun, and underneath it is your brain. So keeping hair on the head might seem strange if humans were adapting to heat. But research suggests scalp hair can reduce the amount of solar radiation reaching the scalp. Experimental work has found that human scalp hair can reduce solar heat gain, with tightly curled hair showing strong protective effects under the tested conditions. So scalp hair may have provided a useful compromise. Less hair over much of the body could improve evaporative cooling. Hair on the head could help protect the scalp from direct sunlight. In other words, humans may have ended up with a very unusual design. Cool the body, protect the head, and keep the brain from receiving unnecessary solar heat. But biology was only one part of the solution. Ancient humans also had another powerful tool: behavior. When the sun becomes brutal, the simplest cooling strategy is often the most effective. Get out of direct sunlight. Ancient humans had access to natural shade from trees, rock shelters, cliffs, and caves. Archaeological evidence from East Africa shows early humans lived in environments where shade and shelter would have been valuable. At one East African archaeological site, researchers identified evidence associated with a large tree and stone tools dating to roughly 625,000 years ago. We cannot say that a particular ancient person sat under that exact tree every afternoon. But the environment tells us something important. Humans did not have to expose themselves to the sun constantly. They could use the landscape. Trees provided shade. Rock shelters blocked sunlight. Caves could provide cooler microclimates. And choosing where to spend time could make the difference between tolerable heat and dangerous overheating. Imagine that you need to travel several kilometers to find food. Would you choose the hottest part of the afternoon? Probably not. Ancient humans could adjust their behavior around the environment. Cooler mornings could be useful for movement. Late afternoons could be more comfortable. The hottest period could be spent resting, eating, caring for children, making tools, or staying in shade. Heat balance research suggests that reduced body hair and increased sweating would have allowed humans to remain active for longer in hot, sunny conditions. But the important point is that humans did not need to challenge the hottest conditions constantly. Survival often means avoiding unnecessary risk. The goal was not to defeat the heat. The goal was to work with it. There was one resource ancient humans could never ignore: water. If you sweat heavily without replacing the lost fluid, dehydration can develop. Blood volume can fall. The cardiovascular system has to work harder. And the body's ability to move heat from its core to the skin can become impaired. Eventually, severe overheating can become life-threatening. So knowing the landscape was a survival skill. Where was the nearest river? Which water sources were seasonal? Where did rain collect? Which routes offered shade? Which plants contained moisture? Ancient humans did not have plastic bottles or modern water systems. But humans could use natural containers, animal materials, plant resources, and later technologies to carry and access water. The ability to remember water sources could be as valuable as remembering where food was found. A landscape was not just a place to live. It was a map of survival. There is another unusual feature of humans. Our bodies are relatively tall and slender compared with many other primates. That body shape changes the relationship between body mass and exposed surface area. And humans are also unusually capable of sustained activity. We are not the fastest animals. A cheetah can outrun us. A horse can outrun us. But humans can keep moving for long periods. Research on human evolution has proposed that endurance running capabilities emerged within the genus Homo roughly 2 million years ago, supported by several anatomical and physiological traits. Sweating is part of that story. During prolonged activity, humans can lose heat through evaporation while continuing to move. This does not mean ancient humans constantly chased animals for hours. Persistence hunting is one proposed use of these abilities, not the only explanation. The bigger point is that the human body could remain active while managing heat in ways many mammals cannot. But we should not romanticize prehistoric survival. Ancient humans were not immune to heat. They could become dehydrated. They could become exhausted. They could overheat. And severe heat stress can be fatal. As environmental temperatures rise, evaporation becomes increasingly important because the body has fewer opportunities to lose heat through radiation and convection. Humidity creates another problem. Sweat may cover your skin, but if the air is already humid, evaporation becomes less efficient. So there were limits. Ancient humans did not conquer extreme heat. They developed a collection of biological and behavioral strategies that made hot environments more manageable. And sometimes, those strategies would still fail. There was never just one secret. It was the combination. Sweating, reduced body hair, scalp hair, a body capable of sustained movement, seeking shade, choosing cooler times to travel, finding and remembering water, using tools, cooperating with other people, learning the landscape. Each adaptation helped. Together, they created something much more powerful: adaptability. Humans did not evolve one perfect solution for every environment. Instead, we developed a body that could regulate heat and a brain capable of changing behavior when conditions changed. That combination allowed humans to expand into environments that would have been extremely difficult for many other animals. Now return to that modern air-conditioned room. The cold air is blowing. A refrigerator is keeping your food cold. A bottle of chilled water is sitting nearby. The outside temperature may be dangerous, but you can escape it within seconds. Our ancestors could not. They had to work with their bodies. They used shade. They followed water. They adjusted their activity. And over countless generations, natural selection shaped a human cooling system that is still operating inside you. Every time you sweat on a hot day, you are using an ancient survival mechanism. Every time you seek shade, you are following a behavior that makes sense to the same basic physiology. And every time you drink water after becoming hot, you are solving the same biological problem our ancestors faced. So the next time you step into an air-conditioned room on a scorching day, remember this: you are using modern technology to solve a problem humans have been dealing with for an incredibly long time. And the strangest part is that the solution is still written into your body. You are not simply a modern human living in a hot world. You are the result of ancient humans learning, adapting, and surviving one of nature's most relentless challenges: extreme heat.